Councilman, one of the things we were talking about before the breaks is you're the former executive director of the library,
Right.
and we always talk about what books we're reading. And I told you I was in the middle of, or just about done with, a biography on former Governor Hughes, and you telling me that you were reading a literary biography.
Right. I love literary biographies. I'm reading a biography of Edna St. Vincent Millay right now. But I just read a three-volume work on Bernard Berenson, who was a famous art critic. And I think that one of the things that I'd share with residents, and when I talk to people, I do this, is it's so important that once you're out of college and you're in your busy workaday life, that you remember to continue that lifelong learning process, whether it's through books or books on tape or whatever. It's so important to keep yourself entertained, but also keep your mind active and healthy.
Yeah, and Councilman, one of the things we were talking about, that the books that we've read together,
right?
Not at the same time, but was Robert Caro's
yeah.
4-set volume, of which 3 sets he's published, and
Right.
each book is about 1,000 pages.
That's right.
And we're waiting for the 4th volume,
right?
Which
right.
is the biography of the life and times of Lyndon Johnson,
right?
Who was actually a remarkable person, from growing up in poverty to, and they even talk about the Senate race he supposedly stole in 1941 or 42.
Right. But the beautiful thing about that book, it points out that a young person from a very poor background, very poor environment, can be a success in this life just through hard work and diligence. And I don't think that he was overly intellectual or anything like that, Lyndon Johnson, that is, but he was a very hard worker, as was Richard Nixon. The Stephen Ambrose biographies of Richard Nixon point that out too, that we're still a country where you've got nothing, you're a nobody, but you can really, through dint of hard work, make yourself into a
Well, our
successful
current
person.
president, Barack Obama, is even though there haven't been biographies written about him yet,
right,
and his lifetimes, but clearly here's a guy who grew up with very little at a young age,
right.
and turned into a community organizer. It wasn't until he started writing books and got in the Senate that he started to make some money.
This is a great country, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very interesting. And, you know, going back to the Racquet Club, one of the things we did in the Racquet Club was dance and chess games.
That's right.
And how are they going? I mean, I go and check on the dance program, but do you see the chess program
at all?
Yeah,
there's chess there. There's mahjong at the library. And the Girl Scouts meet at the Racquet Club as well. And that's another thing. It's one thing to provide good community services, and we do. We provide excellent services. But it's another thing to add that added element, which is some cultural activities. So whether it's dance, whether it's chess, whether it's mahjong, whatever it is, it's so important that a city do that, and I'm happy to say that we do that.
One of the things, Councilman, that we've spoken about in the past, and maybe it needs a little more emphasis, is we had nothing to do with the driving on North Avenue at Park Avenue.
Right.
That the state put that in, and it really messed it up. But
That's
it slowed down traffic. We don't have any accidents anymore.
That's right.
So there's a plus and a minus there.
Yeah, what's happening is that people will come to me and they'll say, you know, the driving on Almore Avenue is bad. People don't understand that a lot of the roads in the 3rd Ward are not our roads. They're not city roads. There's nothing that we can do about some of these issues other than try to deal with the county or the state to get them fixed. And I'd like to be able to say that the state is always very responsive to us. They're not, frankly. I don't think we're getting always the kind of support and help from the State Department of Transportation that we could use to have them come back and look at these traffic patterns again and try to clean them up. Because what they did, they didn't give us any notice, number one, and number two, what they did was heavy-handed.
Yeah, and the issues on Almore Avenue, it seems to me that the business community on Almore Avenue, even during this recession, has been holding their own. Most of the stores are still filled. Most
of the stores are filled. I'm up there frequently, and I think that we're holding our own. I was deathly afraid that we were going to have a large number of stores with empty windows just folding up, but that's not the case. A lot of these small restaurants are doing very
well. You helped start a neighborhood group of the businesses as well. You don't meet as regular as a neighborhood meetings, right? But on occasion, you do talk with all those business community.
Ben Hertz is the head of that, and we haven't met over the winter, but we'll be doing that again in the spring. And the thing is that it's an excellent opportunity for the business owners to tell us what some of their concerns are, too. For example, Las Americas Bakery up there, I think it's on Jersey and Elmore. What a wonderful place. You know, my wife is in there every day. The baked products are wonderful. But he had a couple of problems with flooding. So I was in there having a sandwich one day, and he said, you know, these are my issues. I said, okay, let's work on them. So that's the important thing, is to be part of that mix.
Good. Councilman, I want to thank you for your time and all the work that you do in the neighborhood meetings as well as the business community in keeping the 3rd Ward a vibrant ward in our community.
Thank you, Mayor.
For Councilman Joe Keenan, I'm Chris Bolwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.